Alright guys, we're back here with two videos in the same day, right after my Marpy update video. So if you're interested in what's going on with my Marpy and my overall health, you can check out that series. But this is a different video, so please like and subscribe. I'm small content creator, and we are going to be jumping over to Jor over here at 88 Sats Radio. Go subscribe to him over on YouTube. You can also find him on Rumble and Nostr, if you know what that is, a decentralized social network that I'm trying to learn more about, honestly, and diversify where I get my content from and where I share my content too. Basically, why I want to visit Jor's channel is because last video where I was talking about Bitcoin, I displayed a QR code to a Lightning wallet, and I actually got a donation, or someone sent me Sats or Bitcoin, which is really cool because, first of all, I didn't think anyone would do it, and second of all, this is a not new technology. It's been around since 2005, but the Lightning Network is relatively new, layer 2 Bitcoin, and it's really cool. Not going to pretend like I know how all the behind the scenes work, but basically a way of sending Bitcoin pretty much instantly with very low fees on a layer 2. So I got 88 sats. I'll pop it up on the screen. I have a feeling I know who sent it to me. And Jor made a video 7 hours ago, 88 sats radio, and he was talking about Lightning. So I'm going to go ahead and play some of this video right here. And of course, we are also watching an interview. So Jor's watching this interview, and we're going to watch Jor watch the interview, but he made some really good points in this video I want to touch on, and honestly just share with my friends who might be watching and don't understand Bitcoin as well as they or I would like them to.
I love it too, man. This is awesome. This is peak Sailor in my opinion, which is crazy. And I even shared a video on YouTube, one of these clips from 365, and there was a bunch of comments saying, "Well, Sailor's an engineer. He's one of the smartest people in the world. Of course, he figured this out quickly." I don't know. I'm still not convinced that somebody spent a couple months or less than a year in Bitcoin and has this level of understanding of it. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not going to say yes or no. I'm just saying maybe there's something else here. But anyways, let's keep watching this series. Why Bitcoin succeeds.
So this is a cutout from one of Jor's live streams. He's posting on YouTube a little bit less just because they're not great to him, but I'm going to keep playing this video.
Clips of Sailor doing that exhale. I want to watch that again.
Twitter's quality of service goes. If Twitter can ask for 100,000 Satoshi deposit, and if people give it, and if Twitter's quality of service goes up by an order of magnitude and their cybersecurity enhances, that might put pressure on Instagram.
I don't know how I feel about that, but not opposed to it. 100,000 sats is about $100, so I guess you're putting down a deposit, putting down some value, I guess, and you're kind of verifying yourself. So I guess the point would be if you do something against the terms of service, your sats would be gone, so your 100,000 sats. Not too sure.
Mm-hmm. That might put pressure on Google. And ultimately, now what you have is every big tech company competing with every other tech company to improve their service by building Bitcoin into their service. Because Bitcoin can eliminate fraud on YouTube. And Bitcoin can eliminate fraud and cyber insecurity on Instagram.
So this interview that Jor's watching is from 2021. A lot of the things Michael Saylor's saying is still relevant today, of course, but very ahead of his time, even though we all thought we knew what Bitcoin was back during the pandemic.
And so you've got something. It's like, why do I adopt this new technology? Because I can or because I need to? The early adopter does it
Sorry, I haven't paused this. I haven't stopped Sailor at all yet, actually. But I wanted to stop here because I think this is very important to understand about this whole conversation here. So, mostly just like where we are, because you might be hearing some of these things and the things we talked about in the last episode in terms of spam and everybody having a lightning wallet and attaching it to their Twitter and their Instagram and their YouTube. And you might be thinking, like, it seems so far away. But yeah, you kind of have to just understand where we are right now, because again, nobody understands what Bitcoin is. Nobody understands why Bitcoin is so valuable. And nobody understands what Bitcoin could be used for other than a very, 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 very small group of people on the planet right now.
Hard to think that's true if you're listening to that and hearing that for the first time, but it's very true. Not a lot of people know, or if you understand Bitcoin even a little bit, you're super early. If you know what a node is, you're super early. If you understand the Lightning Network, odds are you're super early to Bitcoin.
And so with that in mind, now isn't really the time to be trying to implement and weave Bitcoin into everything. It's just not. The time that we're in right now is for accumulation.
This is something that I had to honestly watch again. I watched this video twice, but that was such a good point, because you feel like once you know this information, like I said in the last video, it's like kind of getting unplugged from the matrix or crossing the Rubicon. And there is no going back, really, once you understand and you've put in the 100 hours or the amount of time it takes you as a individual to fully comprehend this concept. It's really game changing. I'm just gonna rewind about 30 seconds and we'll listen to what he said again.
On the planet right now. And so with that in mind, now isn't really the time to be trying to implement and weave Bitcoin into everything. It's just not. The time that we're in right now is for accumulation, accumulating these as many sats as we possibly can, because if you understand what these sats are going to be used for in the future, you understand the value of them and how scarce and rare and valuable they're going to be. And so all this stuff is going to happen in time. Everything between business adoption, between integration into platforms like this to eliminate spam, integrated into mortgages. Every house is going to have Bitcoin attached to it. But there's only so much Bitcoin. There's only so many Satoshis that exist and will ever exist. And so now is the time to accumulate, and now is the time to build.
Exactly. Scarce resource. You need to understand that. You need to understand that Bitcoin is a store of energy, a store of value. A lot of technology goes into this. Read the white paper if you haven't. I'll recommend the Bitcoin Standard again. I forgot to throw that up on the screen. I forgot to throw this up on the screen last time, but it is the Bitcoin Standard and the book that I am currently reading, so go check that out if you want a deeper understanding of Bitcoin as a whole.
Essentially, accumulate, build, collaborate, talk about it, and get this out in the world, because it's going to happen eventually, but we are the ones who have the ability to accelerate that. I think that's the main thing, is just understand where we are and understand the power that we have at this stage right now.
So mention to your friends, I guess, but don't overwhelm them. Explain it to them if they're interested. But I guess at the end of the day, like George said, we're not trying to push this Bitcoin on everyone and everything and force it into different aspects. But it's important to understand its utility, what its utility will be, and how it's going to play a huge role in the future of humanity. I hope that doesn't sound crazy, but once you, like I said, fully dive into the topic and start learning, the more you will come to understand that.
And so obviously we're not going to beat ourselves to death over trying to push adoption, but it is one of those things where every single video, every single podcast, every single post, every discussion that you have, these are all steps in the right direction. These are all steps that make this thing happen faster, accelerate it. So I just want to throw that in there, because some of the things he's talking about here, even though this was 5 years ago, and you're like, well, none of this is played out yet. But understand where we are and how early we are and what we should be focused on right now. And this stuff is going to come, without a doubt. It's just a matter of time.
So I think we'll pause right there. He brought up the Lightning wallets, which is kind of what I wanted to touch on, because I got 88 sats sent to me, permissionless. There's no fees taken out of that. It might seem like that's worth a negligible amount today, but the concept is there. We are sending value, Satoshis, back and forth, sharing value, transacting. It really is freedom, and having full control and sovereignty over your money is the next step into what we are moving to as humanity, moving towards, closer towards as humanity. And once you realize the fiat trap that we've been in, with governments printing basically their own certificates of deposit and their own debt notes, we've learned that we've kind of rescinded since the Roman age, when we were getting gold coins issued. and then eventually the Roman Empire collapsing due to the debasement of its currency. Not sure if you guys see any parallels to what's going on today in our world, but I will leave it at that. Jor, if you were the one that sent the 88 sats, thank you so much. I really won't know, but great video uploaded today by Jor, looking back at this old Michael Saylor interview. Like he said, it's 4 or 5 years old, this interview that he's watching, and a lot of the things that he's talking about still haven't come true. He mentions wallets, Bitcoin wallets being built into the Apple Wallet. I think the day's coming personally, but I'm not sure we're ready, or Apple's ready, and I guess collectively as a society to move forward, as a culture to move forward with Bitcoin wallets fully integrated and stuff like that. We'll see what the future holds. Jor, thank you guys. Go subscribe to Jor, and he has his wallet of Satoshi right there. If anyone feels like sending him some sats, go right ahead. I'll have mine up as well above my head. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope everyone has a nice night. Like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate you.